A gorgeous, long-legged blonde boards a flight for Toronto and takes her economy class seat, where she remains until after the aircraft is airborne. Once the flight has reached altitude, she gets up, walks to first class, and takes an empty seat. The flight attendant sees this and approaches her, explaining to her politely that first-class seats cost more money and she is not authorized to be there. The blonde replies, "I'm blonde, I'm beautiful, I'm going to Toronto, and I'm going in this seat." After repeated attempts to reason with her, the attendant goes to the cockpit and tells the flight crew, "We have a problem in first class," explains, and says, "I can't get her to move." The first officer says, "That's okay, I'll handle it." He goes back, introduces himself, and explains to her once again that she has not paid for the seat she is in, so must move back to her own seat. The blonde replies, "I'm blonde, I'm beautiful, I'm going to Toronto, and I'm going in this seat." When further discussion gets him nowhere, he goes back to the cockpit and says, "She's a tough one. I guess the only thing we can do is call the police when we get there and have her arrested." The pilot says, "Nah, I'll handle this. I'm married to a blonde. I speak blonde." He goes back, introduces himself, and politely explains the situation once again. The blonde replies, "I'm blonde, I'm beautiful, I'm going to Toronto, and I'm going in this seat." He then leans down and whispers something in her ear. Her eyes open wide. Her jaw drops a little. Then she says, "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know." Gets up and returns to her seat in economy. When the pilot returns, the others are dumbfounded. "What did you do to get her to move?" "Easy enough. I just explained to her that first class doesn't go to Toronto."